Hey, what's happening, family? It's your man, Mark Black. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy Tuesday. I want to thank everybody for the love and support. First things first, before I even get into this, I have to give a public shout out to the esteemed elder brother, brother BGS. Brother, words fail me. I simply can't thank you enough for your support, for your love, for just you being you, elder brother. I'm beyond grateful. Thank you for everything that you've helped me do, everything that you will help me do. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to get choked up. Thank you, man. That's all I can say. Before I even get into it, let me shout out everybody in the chat. Sister Jazz, welcome to the broadcast. Brother Dave, Brother Elias, welcome to the broadcast. Brother Cease, welcome to the broadcast. Who else here? Brother CRU, as always, welcome to the broadcast. So let's do this first, all right? I'll be honest. It's not normally my way to do what I'm about to do, but I feel like, at least at this particular point, it's warranted. I'm going to tell all of you who have some skin in this immigration game, whether you are a descendant of immigrants yourself, whether you first generation immigrant, or whatever the case may be. If this shoe don't fucking fit you, don't put it on. Stop coming at me with this bullshit that I'm making this some sort of anti-black issue. This is not an anti-black issue. Anybody who has followed my work previously in the past will understand one goddamn thing. Mark Black has gone in for blackness all across the globe, whether here in America, whether in the diaspora, or whether in the motherland. I refuse to have my motherfucking bona fides questioned when I've established them clearly. This is not an anti-black issue. However, this is a American descendant of slave issue. And that's why we need to have this goddamn discussion. So if you are feeling some kind of way because of the heat in which I'm bringing to this discussion, for some of the verbiage that I may be using, get out your motherfucking feelings. If it ain't about you, it ain't about you. I'm talking about a systemic issue. And so I'm going to have to address it in generalities. Stop acting like white folks and trying to center yourself in the conversation as a method of deflecting from the truth of the matters at hand, because I won't tolerate it. If you can't deal with the motherfucking fire and you can't deal with the smoke, there's the door. I'm already a black outcast. I'm already a pariah. I don't have shit to lose. And somebody should have told you, never push a motherfucker to the point where they ain't got nothing to lose. So having said that, today's broadcast is discussing the declaration of open conflict with immigrant blacks and Boulé bootlicks. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it. Now, what prompted this discussion? Recently, there was a broadcast by Joy Ann Reid, AM Joy on MSNBC, where she had a segment where she was discussing how to spot bots in social media. Now, on this panel, because there appeared to be about 4 different individuals, 2 blacks, 2 whites, to have the appearance of fair and balanced. There was a one Shireen Mitchell, also known as Digital Sister on Twitter. Go look her up. This person began to discuss different bot activity on Twitter. And then during her delivery, mentioned 2 specific hashtags, ADOS and DOS, and referenced that these hashtags has shown high degree of bot activity, and that these hashtags were also associated with the attempt at demeaning the character of or diminishing the impact of Senator Kamala Harris, the junior senator from California, who is also a Democratic presidential candidate. At which point, Joy Reid co-signed the statements given by Miss Shireen Mitchell. Now, mind you, Shireen Mitchell presented no graphics, no reports, no links to reports, no data, no anything to support her assertion that black peoples were being specifically targeted by bots, whether Russian or otherwise, to try and influence our political thoughts. Exactly, Jazz. She did not offer any motherfucking proof whatsoever. She just made these bald, naked assertions and mentioned two hashtags in particular. Never mind the fact that there is evidence of bot activity across any hashtag on Twitter that is targeted toward a certain demographic. Shireen alleges that she is some sort of digital security consultant or something like that, right? I'll spell her name for you. So you could go and check her out. But she's essentially a nobody. She's a motherfucking mouthpiece. She's a trade nigga that they pull out when they want a black face to speak on a particular topic, especially if it doesn't require any motherfucking data, any reports, any real information given. She's a goddamn talking head that appears periodically on CNN and other news outlets. But you all know who Joy Reid is. Joy Reid is a black-faced gatekeeper on MSNBC. I need you to understand something, people. Whether you agree or not with our identifying as the American descendants of slaves, this has and is becoming one of the largest movements among Native Black Americans that we've seen in generations. It is cutting across all social lines, all religious lines, all economic lines. And we are changing the motherfucking narrative politically, economically, and what have you. And we are being seen as a threat by the system of white supremacy. But remember, family, we don't live in the days of chattel slavery and Jim Crow. We don't have to have white folks out there openly threatening us with naked force, openly castigating us on the pale stream media. No. Why is it that we don't have that? Why we don't see that? Well, it's very simple. Because over the last 60 years or so, with the advent of the civil rights movement, we've seen more and more immigrant black gatekeepers being elevated to positions of power and authority in this country. And we've always had the black Boulé, the bourgeoisie, to contend with here. You know, the talented 10th and so on and so forth, who's always been jockeying for more fucking butter biscuits. who's always been jockeying for a better place under white supremacy. This is why they don't have to have the white folks come out after those of us who are shouting out hashtag ADOS, hashtag American DOS. Why? Go out and do it yourself when you can use a cat's paw. Read your 48 laws of power. Use a cat's paw. And in point of fact, black immigrants, let's just face facts. Generally speaking, you have been more than motherfucking willing to be used as fucking cat's paws for white supremacy. You know, you're the real black people. You're those talented niggas. You know, you don't come from a culture of hood rats and pookies. You come here and you get to take advantage of all the blood, sweat, and tears, the path that we fucking paved to make smooth. For us, you get to take advantage of it. And then when you get yourselves ensconced in positions of authority, you actively gatekeep to keep us the fuck out of it. Just like our motherfucking bourgeoisie has. But I'm going to tell you something, family. Because remember, even though I'm passionate about this subject and I'm going to speak the way I speak, meaning that it's going to be liberally dosed with profanity, some of you motherfuckers might have your feelings hurt, I'm also going to bring the motherfucking facts. The truth of the matter is, family, is that this ain't new. This ain't nothing new. You see, family, America has always linked what they call black radicalism. You know, anything that works to try to get us our due to outside agitators. That's right. See, let me take you on a trip down memory lane. After the Civil War in this country, when my people were first freed and were primarily living in the South, there were Northerners who had come from states like New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts. And they would come down to the South to help us open schools. Do you black motherfuckers from other countries know that we essentially eliminated illiteracy amongst our people in a matter of 5 fucking years? We went from nearly completely all of us illiterate to well over a 90% literacy rate in just 5 years of Reconstruction. And we had some help. We had white school marms from Boston. We had school principals from Utica. We had teachers from New Jersey who came down to the South to help us develop black schools. You had sometimes upwards of 3 generations of slaves sitting in the same one-room classroom to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, the 3 motherfucking R's. Tell them, Christopher, there wasn't any public schools in the South before Reconstruction. In point of fact, family, 5 years after the end of the Civil War, we had a higher literacy rate as freed blacks than the poor whites in the South had. Those dirt farming, 3-tooth having, shit kicking Appalachian motherfuckers, we were more literate than they were. So you know what the pale stream media called these white Northerners who came down to help black people? They called them carpetbaggers. White people who came from the North to open up businesses in the South many of which catered to the freed blacks, were called scalawags. After the end of the Civil War is when you see the advent of what is now known as yellow journalism in this country. It was the beginning of identity politics, because now it wasn't just white folks, white folks, white folks. It was white folks and us that they had to fucking deal with. Latinos wasn't even a factor, except way the fuck out west. Indians were on reservations. I'm talking about feather Indians, not dots. Let's keep it a full motherfucking buck. It couldn't be that the freed blacks, the descendants of generations of slavery, through hard work and through their own efforts, were able to become the most literate group of people in this country. Hell no. Nah, we had outside agitators, these carpetbaggers from the north, coming down here, putting these ideas in the minds of all these good niggers. You know, outside agitators. Oh, but don't get it fucked up though, family. Because trust me when I tell you that the legacy continues. After the death of Reconstruction, the death of all of our hopes of having some motherfucking tie to this country other than the fact that our footsteps is here and our ancestors' bones are buried here. With the advent of the convict leasing system, debt peonage, sharecropping, and Jim Crow, thank you, Cease, man. I appreciate the tip, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. With the advent of Jim Crow, we didn't stop motherfucking agitating. I'm so sick of you no good ass, lousy black bastards from other countries coming here and telling us how weak and dominated we was. We built entire black cities, enclaves of business, of drive, that were outshining our white counterparts at every motherfucking turn. Places like Greenwood in Tulsa, places like Rosewood, and other so-called Black Wall Streets. Meanwhile, if you think that the white folks was just rolling over and taking us, competing with them lying down, look up the mass lynching of over 200 black trade unionists. Look up the Tulsa race riots of June 1921, where millions of dollars of black capital and 300 of our people were murdered over a 4-day motherfucking period. Read about Rosewood, where on the accusation of some piss-tail-ass white bitch who was cheating on her husband, they came and burnt the entire town down. They killed anywhere from between 50 to 70 of us, bodies of which we still haven't been able to recover to this day. And yet we still fucking fought. You know why? Because in World War I, we had black veterans who went and fought over in Europe for the Allied powers. And they came back home to lynching simply because they took pride in the motherfucking uniform and the medals that they earned fighting for this goddamn country. You think they was gonna take that land down? No. See, you immigrant motherfuckers who come here from other countries, because you don't have a tie in this, because you don't have you don't have no skin in the game, because you don't have anybody whose lineage goes back to the history of this country, you don't know about motherfuckers like the Deacons of Defense. Armed black brothers and sisters who was fighting pitched battles against these crackers in the streets. But you see, family, just like the motherfucking white supremacists, a lot of these black immigrants and the Boulé bourgeoisie bootlicks simply cannot fathom, cannot conceive of the possibility that we might internally generate our own distinct struggle for justice in this country. It scares they asses shitless. And it has since the inception of chattel slavery. Don't believe me? Go back in the day before they really jailed chattel slavery as the order of the day, when there was still motherfucking indentured servants being brought here from Europe, along with black bodies being brought here from Africa. Look at how many jurisdictions had to pass laws preventing Congress between us and the motherfucking indentured servants because we was running the fuck off together. Bacon's Rebellion was a unified African, black, and white poor people's rebellion in this motherfucker that almost overturned America, throttled this bitch before she ever gave birth. Since the advent of this motherfucking country, we have been at the forefront of fighting for liberation. For us first, but for everybody in general. And the idea that black people could sit down together, look at our collective situation, and say, this shit can't stand. Brother, I can't speak for you, but I'd rather die on my feet than to live my life on my knees. That scares the shit out of every ethnic group, every social group in this motherfucker. Salute to all the folks up in this bitch. Because we're going to talk about it today. Get that. We got 16 watching and 7 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. If you ain't sharing this one on social media, you are fucking failing. So after World War I, as we approach the so-called nadir of race relations, when we had the institution of the NAACP being founded, where we had sisters like the mighty, the courageous, the powerful Ida B. Wells Barnett, shout out to you, sister, who was going through the South risking life and limb to show the motherfucking crimes being committed against our peoples. The white folks needed a new outside agitator to blame. And it just so happens that in 1918, with the downfall of the Romanovs and the last of the czars being murdered in Russia, the advent of the Soviet Union gave them the boogeyman they needed. Communism became the new outside agitator. Communism became the new puppet for black people. Shout out to Grinch. Shout out to Esoteric Truth. Shout out to Brother Ricky. Shout out to Brother Victor. Shout out to all the people. Brother Christopher. Shout out to y'all. And thank y'all for joining the broadcast. That's right, family. America was gifted with the advent of the rise of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, the USSR. Because it didn't help that some of the black bourgeoisie was also card-carrying communists like W.E.B. Du Bois and others like Langston Hughes. And who could blame them? What black person in their right mind couldn't see the benefit in collective effort resulting in collective benefit? Before all of you motherfuckers get to sit here and tell us how broken and atomized we are. You came here and helped to break us the fuck apart. I digress. I'm gonna get to it. We had black people who were going the fuck in on America, but they were communists. People like Bayard Rustin. Shout out to Brother Bayard. They were communists, members of the Communist Party. I don't give a fuck what you think about white folks. One of my idols of all time, shout out to Emma Goldman, a card-carrying communist and anarchist, who said, and I quote, "A revolution I can't dance at is a revolution I don't want to fucking be a part of." Speak the truth and shame the motherfucking devil's family. Shout these people out. Because these people were used as boogeymen for the rest of all of America. Because you know what the narrative then became? Whenever we would agitate, whenever we would struggle. Look at these goddamn godless communists coming in here in America and stirring up all the good niggers. Black people would know their place if it wasn't for these communists filling their heads with ideas of revolution and shit. Because you see, we dumbass niggas couldn't put two and two together and figure out that we had been going through over 300 years of fuckery and it was time for us to rise up and fight. Tell them cease, and they still are. So family, don't get it twisted. When you see bitches like Joy Reid and bitches like this motherfucking Shireen Mitchell character and bitches like this Angela Rye, understand that they're just following a long and unholy tradition of demeaning black voices by attributing any type of so-called black radicalism to outside influences. Because nowadays, it's still the Russians. They just not communists no more. Now, niggas can't have an original political goddamn thought in our heads. No, we can't look at a politician's record and analyze for ourselves who and what the fuck they are. No, we can't look at these motherfuckers and demand that they deliver us tangibles. No, no, no. It's the Russians. It's the Russians who's agitating all these good niggas to vote against their interests or to not vote at all. Because you know our ancestors died for us to have the right to vote. If Trayvon was alive, he'd be 24 and he would vote. You sick, sorry motherfuckers. Using our goddamn dead to try to shame us into continuing to be sheepdogged and gatekeeped on the motherfucking Democratic plantation. You motherfuckers make me sick. You motherfuckers make me sick. As if we can't fucking think for ourselves. As if we can't have an original political thought in our head. I actually, when I put up that video, the Elder BGS snatched it. And by the way, family, snatch any of my videos that you feel like you want to put up on your channel. My work is your work. You take whatever the fuck you need. You heard it here from the horse's mouth. You don't need my permission. You don't need my say so. Steal this shit. Bootleg it. We niggas, that's how we do. Take this shit and put it to good use. But when the brother BGS put up my broadcast or put up my video yesterday on his channel, you actually had motherfuckers who tried to accuse me of just simply parroting people like Tariq, parroting Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. Shout out to all of them. As if Mark Black couldn't have an original political thought in his head. I'm not here to fucking reinvent the wheel. We still haven't gotten justice yet. We still banging on the same drum because we still live under the same fucking conditions. Why the fuck should I come up with something new when we haven't even addressed the old? Family, I'm not usually that dude. But if you feel like what I'm saying warrants it, leave me a tip. I'm going to pop the link in the chat. Just show a little love. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's $5. I don't care if it's your spare coins. Just show me some love, family. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Victor. Yes, shout out to brother BGS for that, man. I appreciate the brother more than he will ever fucking know. These motherfuckers can't understand a movement that is self-generated, that is from the grassroots, that is taking the most atomized people in this country and giving them an identity that all of us can get behind. Let me tell you something. If you African descendant of slaves, I don't care who you fucking. I don't care what your God is or the lack of God you worship is. I don't give a fuck what you look like. I don't give a damn what you talk like. I don't give a damn who you're married to. I don't give a fuck what your educational level or educational attainments are. I don't care if you upper crust or if you in the mud. If you share my lineage, then you with me and I'm with you. And these motherfuckers are scared shitless of that. Scared shitless. My black immigrant brothers and sisters, let's just go ahead and tell the real motherfucking truth. Y'all came here because of the opportunities afforded to you by the forced labor, stolen capital, and the bodies of my ancestors. Mine. Not yours. Let's just keep it real. You motherfuckers ain't patriots. How many goddamn times, how many of your profiles I can go through right now and find a motherfucking Jamaican flag, find an Antiguan flag, find a Dominican flag, find a Virgin Islander flag, find a UK flag, find a motherfucking French flag, find anything but the RBG. Let's keep it a buck. You ain't patriots. And I get it. This isn't your homeland. You have a place that you come from, a place that you can return to. For better or for worse, my ancestors' bones is buried here. This is my motherfucking country. My ancestors built it. My ancestors bled for it. My ancestors died to protect it. I almost died to protect it. So don't come here acting like you better motherfucking Americans than we are. You're not coming here to teach us anything. You motherfuckers aren't qualified. You see, don't worry, Cease. I'm going to talk about that. You black immigrants, you don't have any skin in the game. You haven't really been harmed directly by America, right? For y'all, blackness is, I can't get an Uber when I want one. Or I get the side eye when I walk into a store. See, you motherfuckers get to make it about white folks just don't like you. But we know the truth, don't we, DOS family? We know what this really is about. We know what the DOS movement really is about. And we also know why you motherfuckers are so threatened by it. Because you haven't been directly harmed by America. You haven't seen what the beast is like when that motherfucker wakes up. You haven't gone through the crucible that has been Fortress America, the United Snakes. Our demands for justice here is just as easily ignored by you as it is by the greater American society. It's easy for you to sit here and say that we're perpetuating a victim mentality. Because you weren't the fucking victims of America, you lousy sons of bitches. America hasn't tried to eat you. America hasn't slit open your veins and drank your blood like it has us. America hasn't fed on the flesh of your ancestors like a sacrament, like the Eucharist, like it has on us. So when we stand up and we shout out loud that here and no further, you can just ignore that shit. In your attempts to assimilate into America, you motherfuckers come here and embrace a fuck you, I got mine attitude toward us. We were the ones who basically made it possible for you to be here. There wouldn't even be a motherfucking United States for you to immigrate to if it wasn't for us. But instead of you motherfuckers coming here and reaching out the hand and saying, thank you, you take every goddamn little gain that we may have possibly been able to drag out of this motherfucker, kicking and screaming, and make it for your collective benefit, to elevate yourself and put yourself up as the representative of what blackness means in America. That shit is disgusting. You kiss white ass like the shit is made of crack cocaine and cotton candy. And you got the nerve to get mad at us. Because we ain't kissing they ass too. Ain't that a bitch? Christopher said, why are African immigrants degrading DOS? They can't talk shit because they're corrupt ass governments supported by the American government. You know what? Since we having it out today, let's have it all the way the motherfuck out, shall we? Tell me how you niggas is so much better than us when you got freedom in hand where the fuck you from and still can't make it. You got a whole country filled with your motherfucking countrymen where the whole governmental structure could be set up to benefit you and yourn. And you still gotta leave that motherfucker. But you supposed to be better than me. I'm a child of the motherfucking impossible. I was supposed to be a statistic. I wasn't even supposed to be fucking born in this bitch. Hey, it's still I rise. Shout out to Maya Angelou. Another motherfucking descendant of slaves. You motherfuckers got countries with freedom in hand. Whether you were able to vote for it, or whether you fought for it, or whether you bought it, or whatever the case may be, you motherfuckers have freedom in hand. And you still fucking failing. But you got the nerve to come here and act like you so much motherfucking better. Oh. But before we continue, I got some special smoke that I cooked up just for you African motherfucking immigrants who come here. That's right. You know, you black sons of bitches from the motherland. Oh, I got some special smoke for you. 'Cause see, at least to a certain extent, I can understand diasporan Africans coming here and acting the way they act. I don't condone it. But to an extent, I can understand it. But you African motherfuckers take the cake. So let me get this straight. From one black person to another one, right? Talk black to me for a second. Victor, I already gave my disclaimer at the beginning of this broadcast. If this shoe don't fit you, immigrant brothers and sisters, don't put it on. But you know who this shoe belongs to. You know who this Cinderella slipper belongs to. Don't act like y'all don't know. Don't act like y'all don't know how shady y'all talk about us in y'all's little ethnic enclaves here in America. Don't act like y'all don't know. How y'all mouth be running real reckless about the descendants of slaves here when it's just y'all. Let me get this straight, African immigrants. Some of you come from lineages who were responsible for the sale of your diasporan brothers and sisters into slavery. And you come here in your greedy ass attempt to double dip. And we ain't supposed to ask who you. We just supposed to let you come over here with your little black cloak on. Slide right the fuck on in. Right? We're not supposed to ask where you come from. Who's your people? We're not supposed to ask you who you. Right? I mean, because that slavery shit, that was in the past, right? You're not bound by that, right? Miss us with that fucking bullshit. Appreciate you, Esoteric Truth. Thank you, man, for the tip. I'll be goddamned if I allow a single African immigrant to come here without asking who the fuck are you. This does not mean I hate you. This does not mean that I'm against you. What this means is that you don't get to come here and act in any way like you can speak for me and my people, especially when many of you come from lineages and heritages where y'all's ancestors is responsible for why the fuck we here. Nope. You don't get no passes. I love you, but you don't get no passes. And if we find out that your lineage, that your heritage was a group of motherfuckers that profited off of the impoverishing, the diminishing, the degradation of my lineage, in the words of Ricky Ricardo, you have some splaining to do. But I want to tell you today, family, that as a part of the house cleaning, as a part of the house cleaning, the necessary house cleaning in 2019 and moving forward, we are going to finally have to touch on these punk ass Boulé paper bag sack test having ass bourgeois black ass butter biscuit brigade ass niggas. These Jack and Jill ass black Greek ski wee ass niggas. Because they have long been the entry point for any outside unsavory influences to come into our community and have its way with us. I mean, it really takes a special kind of bootlick to match the efforts of the petty bourgeoisie known as the motherfucking Boulé. These highfalutin, sedity-ass Negroes. I'm telling it like a T.I. is, goddammit. You see, family, there's something that we have to understand about these bastards. They're susceptible to being bought because of the ideas and the ethics that they have bought into, right? You can 9 times out of 10 tell who the fuck is going to be one of these bourgeois ass, sellout ass, Sambo ass niggas, because Uncle Tom was dope. You can usually tell who these motherfuckers are. I'm going to give you some identifiers so as to help you figure out who amongst us is likely a closeted member of the Butter Biscuit Brigade. Anywhere you find these motherfuckers who are so aspirational, right? And remember, the Butter Biscuit Brigade stretches across every socioeconomic strata in black society. B1 Khalifa, welcome to the broadcast. If you are a poor Butter Biscuit Brigade member, you're not poor. You're just a temporarily dispossessed millionaire. Everything about you is, you got to get your own. Fuck you, I got mine. That's a dyed-in-the-wool fucking identifier for the Biscuit Brigade. Big-ass hot steaming piles of butter biscuits chomping motherfuckers. Another way that you can tell somebody who is a dyed-in-the-wool card-carrying member of the Butter Biscuit Brigade is their denial of communal effort for rugged individualism. When you come to these people and you say, hey, brother, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is what we facing as a people. Let's organize. Let's get together. A member of the Butter Biscuit Brigade is going to be the first one to tell you how your plan can't work. Nigga, what you talking about? Man, white folks done had that sold up a long time ago. I can't believe you niggas is talking about doing this shit. What you mean? Let us go out here and do X, Y, and Z. Man, you crazy. I ain't about to go out here and get killed by these crackers fighting for you niggas. But the biggest identifier for these sellout, traitorous motherfuckers amongst us is their incessant, almost infantile obsession, need, addiction to white acceptance. These are people, family, amongst us that with just a word, a long smoldering glance from across the room from a white person sends they ass into paroxysms of ecstasy. I think he likes me. He really likes me. He said, I have good ideas. He said he's going to talk to the boss about helping me get a promotion to lead. I think I'm in love. Wherever you find that, it is almost guaranteed you're going to find a budding member of the black bourgeoisie. That craving for white acceptance means that as long as the butter biscuits keep flowing, they'll keep gatekeeping and sheepdogging. And that's just facts. And that ain't news either. None of this is new. See, you immigrant black folk, with your lack of anchor in our history, in our lineage, think that what I'm saying is so hot, it's so radical, it's so new. No, it's not. We've been having the same motherfucking issues with y'all since y'all been allowed to come here. But we've been also having the same issues with our own sellouts and traitors since we've been here. Then Mark Vesey sold the fuck out. Nat Turner sold the fuck out. Harriet Tubman, I freed 1,000 slaves and I could have freed thousands more had they only known they were slaves. We've had our Stevens. As long as you getting nice jackets and gifts from Massa, you'll sell us out in a motherfucking heartbeat. We see you motherfuckers though. We see you. We, ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, ain't nobody getting no more passes. There ain't no insta motherfucking acceptance for you just because you share our skin. Just because you skin folk don't make you kin folk. Because strangely enough, everywhere else in blackosphere, right, in the blackistan, all over the globe, you can be Xhosa, you can be Twi, you can be San, you can be Fulani, you can be Hausa, right? You can be Akan. You can be Dawman. You can be Fawn. You can be Bajan. You can be Jamaican. You can be Guyanese. You can be Antiguan. You can be Puerto Rican. You can be whatever the fuck you want. And lift up that lineage with pride. And who roots for you harder than we do? Until we say, well, we'd like to lift up our heritage too, our lineage too. We want to make sure that we have our unique issues addressed, our unique justice claim addressed in our homeland. Now we got us a motherfucking problem. What you mean, niggas? You talking about our tribe? We black too. You sorry motherfuckers. I got people shading me. Go on my old Mark Black channel. You'll see videos there where I discuss our need to support our brothers and sisters in the UK, the Windrush generation and their descendants that they was trying to deport from the UK. You'll see videos where I talk about reparations for the Commonwealth nations. You'll see videos where I've openly advocated for land expropriation for the South African peoples. I have been more Pan-Africanist than many of you motherfuckers ever have. All I'm asking for is for Pan-African to include us too. If you can't back our motherfucking play, right? If the idea of African people here in America, the descendants of American chattel slavery, right? If DOS people bothers you so goddamn much, fine. Just keep your fucking mouth shut and step the fuck out of our way. Stop trying to silence us. Stop using the same goddamn white folks talking points about outside agitators being the real voice of the black community. If you can't help us, don't fucking hinder us. But you know what though? Before I'm done, before I open this up for fucking discussion, I have one more thing that I'd like to talk about. I want to talk about the fact of why you black bastards have been able to get away with this bullshit for so long. White America loves black immigrants, loves you. We see you elevated to positions in academia. We see y'all labeled as the first black every motherfucking thing in this country, like y'all didn't just show up yesterday, relatively speaking. They love you. You know why they love you? Because while you are most everything that we, the American descendants of slaves, are, you don't have any of the motherfucking history with them that we do. That's right. You motherfucking black immigrants are like sugar-free devil's food cake. All of the flavor and none of the guilt. You bastards are all of the motherfucking blackness, but none of the justice claim. That's why you've been able to get away with the bullshit that you've been able to get away with. You know I'm telling the motherfucking truth. Whether you diasporan black immigrant or African black immigrant, the only reason why y'all have been able to get away with the fuckery that y'all commit against the descendants of slaves here in America every goddamn day is because you are pets. You are white pets. They love you. Because when they're around you, they feel comfortable. You are not a threat to them. You're not here pushing for age-old redress of grievances and final remittances of justice. No, you just want to get the bag. Shout out to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas 91. Thank you for the subscribe. Y'all not here making waves. Y'all just want to go here, go to our schools, get your academia on, so you can make that long green as white pets. Because they'll hire you long before they hire us. They'll give you opportunities long before they give it to us. I'm certain white folks have a sigh of relief when you walk into the office and your last name is Oyelowo. But when a black man walk into the office with the last name Jackson, them motherfuckers is petrified. Salute to you too, sister. Y'all been able to get away with almost 2 generations of fuckery on me and mine because y'all are beloved pets of the same white supremacy you claim to decry. If you hate white supremacy so much, black immigrants, then why the fuck are y'all standing in our way when we try to fight it? Why is it that when you get in positions to gatekeep, may that bitch Joy Reid burn in hell? Why is it that you try to kill our movements, squelch our voices, shout us down? If y'all really hate white supremacy so much, how come we not talking about the fact that the motherfucking ethnic hierarchies back in your own countries? Like we don't know light-skinned and white Jamaicans are at the top of the motherfucking political food chain and dark-skinned ones are not. Tell the truth and shame the motherfucking devils. All you Afro-Latinos out there acting like that racism is just something you discovered when you came here to Fortress America, like you don't have pale-skinned Latinos in your country running the motherfucking show. Some of the most racist shit I ever seen was on Sábado Gigante, on Univision and Telemundo. You sorry motherfuckers. Let's talk about that shit. You can come here and shade us. Let's go to your motherfucking house and shade you. Respect due to my beloved black immigrant brothers and sisters from all over the diaspora in Africa. But let's talk about the fact that even Haiti, who love to throw up in their face that they the only African-based republic in the Western Hemisphere, was still paying France reparations. So much so that even though they are a free country and have been since the 1800s, they live like an impoverished third world country. You don't fucking believe me? Go to Google motherfucking World. Go to the satellite view and look at the island of Hispaniola. Look at the DR side and look at the Haitian side and see right there at the border where the trees disappear because they've been using it to heat their motherfucking houses and shit. But you got the nerve to come here and shade me. Don't get me wrong. I got mad respect for Toussaint Louverture, for Jean-Jacques Dessalines and y'all struggle. But don't act brand fucking new. All of you bitches is here because you got problems elsewhere. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation, now would we? How about you come here and you show us a little motherfucking respect for a change? All you African immigrants coming here and letting the Chinese just run roughshod in your shit. All you Kenyans, all you Tanzanians, all you Ghanaians, all you motherfuckers from Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire, all you Chadians and Ugandans, all you Rwandans. You sit here and act like you better because you come from someplace else that you can call home. If you so much better than me, then why the fuck are you here? Why the fuck are you here? Why isn't your home countries the goddamn Golden Mountain, the land of opportunity? You motherfuckers come from places with natural resources flowing like running water and still can't develop shit. And you got the nerve to come here and shade me and mine? Fuck you. Give the American descendants of slaves a tenth of some of the opportunities and situations that you immigrant black bastards come from and watch us work. Watch what we do. Give us a motherfucking land base. Oh, especially if it has natural resources, coltan, gold, rare earth metals, diamonds and gemstones and jewels and shit, oil. Nigeria is what? 4th in the world in oil reserves? So why is your motherfucking upper crust running here? If you so much better than us. You so much better than us, but you can't fucking do anything to defeat Boko Haram. But I'm a descendant of a people in a country that took out Osama bin Laden, punk ass. How the fuck you better than me? I'm a descendant of slaves in a country that can dominate any one of your countries whenever the fuck it feels like it. Now, if I was to be a dick and talk about all the fuckery that America could lay down on you. All the smoke that we bring when we walk, when we step hard. You would think I was a real asshole, wouldn't you? You think you better than me? Why my country got AFRICOM in the whole of the goddamn continent of Africa, waiting on our opportunity to face up to the motherfucking Chinese and run they slant-eyed ass the fuck up out of there, quiet as it's kept. So you keep on running off at your dick suckers. You keep on acting like you gatekeeping, that you speak for me and mine. Keep it up. Because I'm going to tell you something, family. I'm going to tell you something that's really going to piss you off. I'm about to cuss my own people the fuck out right now for just one goddamn thing. All of you been buying into this bullshit ass hype given to you by the Democrats that we need to be afraid of Donald Trump. When in his election cycle, Donald Trump was the only motherfucking candidate that actually spoke directly to black people about black people. He said, come fuck with me. What do you got to lose? Now, hey, it's not my motherfucking fault that almost every black person that gets in front of them got mental issues. Shout out to Kanye, crazy ass. But we've been so stupefied by our fear of the Imperator Trump, the first of his name, that we've been listening to goddamn Democrats tell us to not even go talk to the man. And you know who else is telling us not to go talk to him? Foreign blacks. Why is that? Could it be because even though he's just as whitest of a bastard as any president ever was, that he might actually be open to an active, open agenda for us? Yeah, I said it. Stop fucking outcasting black people that get a chance to be a part of his administration, or who might get to go and sit in the Oval Office with this motherfucker for a minute. Because you just might be surprised what we might be able to get. Those damn black pastors were also instrumental in pushing bastards like Cory Booker, and he's claiming all the credit for it, by the way, to actually pass the first real criminal reform bill that we've seen since motherfucking William Jefferson Clinton. The arch fucker himself. I noticed they wasn't telling us to stay out of Clinton face. Oh, they loved seeing us be around Bill Clinton while he playing the saxophone, you know what I'm saying, and getting his dick sucked. After he was getting blowjobs from motherfucking what's-her-face, Monica Lewinsky, he would go right into the Oval Office and sign bill after bill fucking us in the ass. But you want me to shut up about Donald Trump. You want to shame any black person that got the motherfucking wherewithal, that got the means to go sit down with this man who's so hard in the paint for what he wants that he's willing to shut the whole motherfucking government down to get it. I'm sorry, but whitest or not, if he's willing to utilize even a tenth of that power to help benefit me and mine, Mr. President, I'm ready to come talk to your motherfucking ass. I, your constituent, Mr. Mark Black, middle name Aloysius, goddammit, is willing to come and sit and talk with you. That's right. I'm willing to sit at the motherfucking table and hear what you got to say. Because I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Trump, President Trump. These motherfucking Democrats ain't talking about shit worth listening to. The only one of them that we can get to put up anything resembling a black agenda is Marianne Williamson, an author who wrote A Course on Miracles. And even she is woefully understating the number. But I give her props for at least putting reparations on the table. You motherfuckers got to be kidding me. The congressional black carcasses are going hard in the paint for DACA, for LGBTQIA plus rights, and for everybody in this motherfucking country except black people. This bitch Ocasio-Cortez talking about, well, you know, reparations really ain't about slavery. It's about everybody who's been mistreated by America. Bitch, fuck you. But this is who we supposed to depend on to be our mouthpieces? Shit. Before I continue to give one more minute of airtime, of headspace to the congressional black carcasses, to the so-called progressive Democrats who can't even say black, to bitches like Kamala Harris, to bitches like Cory Booker. You know what, family? Let me tell you something that's gonna blow your motherfucking mind. Now, we ain't gonna sit here and call him a coon today. But let's just say that the brother Charlemagne the God has had coon-like tendencies. But shout out to that brother for actually asking the motherfucking question to Cory Booker. Do you have a specific agenda for black people in this country? And not only asked it once, but asked it twice. Because he gave us a bird's eye opportunity on the Breakfast Club to hear this motherfucker go, well, as African American myself, normally this motherfucker has that swelling Obama-like cadences when he's talking about love and reaching out the hand and shit, right? I mean, eloquent. And he purdy too. You know them light-skinned niggas, right? I'm just fucking with you on the colorism tip, family. You know I don't rock like that. But Cory Booker pretty. He pretty with them green eyes and those swelling church-like cadences. And he came out and openly told you he got an agenda for all Americans. In other words, family, it's white folks, Asians, Latinos, and they black immigrant pets, the black bourgeoisie, and us taking a piss. They all taking a piss, and we getting a face full of yellow rain. You know, business as usual. Isn't it a shame, family, that on the Democratic side of the house, the only motherfucker that you can even get to put up the R word, she said reparations. I'm sure the motherfuckers was shivering in their goddamn boots. Is a long shot. Marianne Williamson. Marianne, if you ever watch this broadcast, shout out to you, goddammit. You might be a white bitch, but shout out to you. Thank you for at least putting the motherfucking R word, dun dun dun, on the table. You feel me? We are done shielding you motherfuckers and pretending that y'all speak with our voice and for our interests. We are done. We are done. We are done pretending that y'all don't come from places with motherfucking problems with your own little ethnic hierarchies over there skin bleaching yourselves into fucking oblivion trying to be like white folks. Over there handing your country to the Chinese or whatever motherfucking whore master of the day shows up. We done pretending that you motherfuckers are some sort of talented black Negroes who are just better than us in every way. We done pretending that y'all speak for us. that you know anything about us and our history. We done pretending that y'all ain't so sad that the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, may he rest, couldn't start the UNIA in Jamaica. He had to come here. We done pretending that Malcolm X's people couldn't have a firebrand like our red-headed, light-skinned brother like himself until they came here. We done pretending that y'all so much more radical and hardcore where y'all from while y'all still paying off the motherfucking French and aligning yourself as Commonwealth nations with Her Majesty the Queen. Fuck you motherfuckers. We done pretending that y'all don't come from countries where y'all still use francs as currency. Or did I forget about the CFA? We done pretending that we ain't got time to address our own black butter biscuit brigade of bootlicks. You see, y'all done fucked around and y'all done poked a sleeping bear. Our brother, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, died penniless, broke. He died broke. He's talking about Africa for the Africans. And when he said Africans, he meant your black ass and my black ass and Miss Diddy's black ass and everybody's black ass in this chat. And that man died broke. This bitch, Angela Reid, got the nerve to go on Twitter and quote Martin Luther King talking about love and peace and all that shit and how love defeats hate. When in April of 1965, 1968, our brother caught a bullet in his face. Love don't always beat hate, no matter how aspirational you are. Sometimes you gotta fight fire with fucking fire. Malcolm X, when he was advocating for us to get knowledge of self, was a nobody. When he went and talked to leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, in these new countries in Africa, he was inspired to get together with every black face in the diaspora as well as the homeland, the motherland, and take a petition to the United States fighting for rights for us all. And became so much of a threat that they had to use black fucking cat's paws to take him out. We're done pretending that you motherfuckers are so much more radical, so much more blacker than we are. We have been burned in the crucible. We are the children of gold, the children of the impossible. We have had our dross burned away and left with nothing but the purest gold. And the only thing that has been stopping us is we haven't been allowed to see it. Well, I'm telling you, American DOS is waking up. We are seeing who and what we are. We are claiming what is ours, whether you motherfuckers like it or not. And we will have our due. They will either finally go ahead and end us all through a mass genocide, or we gonna get justice. And you know what the sick part about it is that after we have our justice claim honored in this country and we finally become full-on Americans, y'all gonna be kissing our ass, asking us to help you fight for your justice claims versus France, versus Germany, versus the UK, and so on and so forth. And like we always have been, we're gonna come a-running. Because we better than what you've been to us. Elias, you finally heard what I had to say on the matter, brother. We straight. You understand where I'm coming from at this point? We're done. No more protection. No more getting to wear my lineage and my heritage as a cloak for your motherfucking greedy schemes and underhanded tricks. Your dirty dealing and double dipping. Taking advantage of affirmative action which was meant to redress me and mine while bad-mouthing us at the same motherfucking time. You're done. Your past has been revoked. From henceforth, all of America is going to have to deal with American descendants of slavery, native black people. And if that means that we got to get President Trump to build a motherfucking wall and tighten up on motherfucking immigration laws so that all you bastards overstaying your visas can politely get kicked the fuck out, he can't build it fast enough for me. If it means that we have to back up ICE when they raid these factories where they've been hiring all these illegals, because trust me, it ain't just the black illegals I'm going in on, it's illegals, period. My people are disproportionately affected by illegal immigration. To force these companies to hire my people rather than them, I'm all for it. If I can get in there and talk to President Trump and put together a motherfucking black agenda and he bites it even a tenth of it, fuck Democrats forever. That's why they don't want us talking to him. What do we got to lose? We ain't getting shit from they bitch ass. Y'all going in the booth like loyal automatons, little sheep that's been led by sheepdogs. Right down the ballot. And ain't got shit to show and a motherfucking window to throw piss out of. Insanity is keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I'm fucking done. An American DOS should be done. From now on, we're vetting you. All of you. We're asking, who are you? Where you come from, what you own, who you with, who sent you. And we ain't taking no motherfucking shorts. And if you want power from us, you're going to have to bring power to us. If you're not talking tangibles, if you're not talking remediation, if you're not talking reparation, if you're not talking a healing for black descendants of slaves in this country, then you ain't saying shit we want to hear. We don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if David Duke gets into office, the former Grand Wizard of the KKK. If he's down to talk about aspects of a black agenda, that motherfucker could get my vote. We voting for tangibles, not personalities. I don't give a fuck if you know how to Dougie. I don't give a fuck if you like hot sauce. I don't give a fuck if you A5A06 or if you motherfucking AKA Ski-Wee. I don't give a fuck if you went to a HBCU or a PWI. I don't give a fuck who you are. You want to fuck with us? You better be talking some tangibles. You better be bringing something to the table. Or you can kiss my natural black ass. Private white institutions, Miss Denny. Shout out to my brother Antonio Moore, the one-man hype man. We coming, family. We coming. Let's get it. I'm about to open the motherfucking floor up. I know some of y'all got something to say. Thank you for listening to your man. I hope I've made clear where we stand with each other going forward. Black immigrants, back our play. or get the fuck out of the way. Because you either get on or get rolled over. We're done fucking with you. We're done playing games with you. We don't give a fuck about your feelings no more. Not that you ever gave much of a fuck about ours. And to you black bootlicks out there, you little black sheepdogs for the Democratic Party, you're going to have to do a lot better than Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. I'm just telling you. You're going to have to do a lot better than that. Even Bernie Sanders punk ass is going to have to get on the motherfucking R train. Reparations. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, we ain't fucking with you. So take your little shepherd's crooks, your little slingshots, and take your punk ass back to the village. Because we ain't fucking with you. We are not fucking with you. Come on, family. Get in where you fit in. Get in where the fuck you fit in. If you're an immigrant who think I was too harsh, if you think that I'm just fomenting more division as if we ain't divided the fuck enough, get at me. Because see, unlike you motherfuckers in your feelings about this immigration shit, I got the data to support where the fuck I'm talking about. How many of you seen that most recent Florida report that talked about how white America prefers to have black immigrant students in college because they are well known to be less radical than homegrown native black students? You know, that pesky data shit. How many of y'all know the fuck about these people? Look, there was a study done recently in Los Angeles that measured the net wealth of black Americans versus Nigerian Americans in Los Angeles. The average black family in Los Angeles County was worth $200 net wealth. The average Nigerian family was worth $100,000. You motherfuckers have been just getting fat. Shout out to Sister Lila. Welcome to the broadcast, sister. I've missed you.
Hello?
Cease, get it in, brother. The floor is yours.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, doing well, brother.
Thanks for having me on, man. Finally get to talk to you on your live show without working. But everything you've been saying, man, for the past couple of days, you've been on fire with. And the reason why I know that, because I work at a shelter, and there was like a foreign lady there, right? And you swear to God that she thought she was just entitled. I'm like, I'm like, you know what, lady? And she thought she was better than me. Now, mind you, I'm a staff person there, and she's a guest at the shelter. And she thought she was better than me. Who works?
Ain't that a bitch?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many of you immigrants get to lay your heads down at night in your little hovels and look up at the ceiling with the cracks in it and say to yourself, just like that little three-tooth cousin fucking for a bastard hookworm having from Appalachia, that at least you ain't negro? Y'all been living fat, and we've been letting y'all ride.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I've seen that most of my life, even all through high school and stuff. And I'm like, man, are you kidding me?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, Cease, the thing that tore it for me, right? Because again, a lot of people don't understand American history. There was an incident that occurred in 1860 at Fort Sumter, right? Where the Confederates fired on Fort Sumter. That was considered to be the incident that was the start of the Civil War in the United States. What if I was to tell you that AM Joy segment, where they tried to diminish the entirety of the ADOS movement on social media as nothing more than tools of Russian bots, was our Fort Sumter moment? with these black gatekeepers, these black immigrants, and they motherfucking Boulé bootlicks. That's our Fort Sumter moment.
Oh yeah, that's almost definitely. Almost definitely. I heard that because I don't watch Joy. I used to watch Melissa Harris Perry. Then I used to watch Joy, but then I realized I'm like, oh, why she sound this way? She's a second generation, first generation American born, so she doesn't know. And a lot of them don't know what it's like.
They don't know
to be an American. And like I said, I stopped watching her, and when she said all that, and you got all these foreigners, well, it's not that bad here. Well, you guys can go back where you came from. What you guys don't realize is you guys are being just as used, and we see it.
I actually had a brother. I had a brother comment and say to me over on BGS's channel in the comments on my video, said to me that immigrant blacks are coming here to teach us how to do things. You arrogant motherfuckers, man. I can't make this shit up.
It's just, once again, I work at a shelter. I'm a staff member. I had foreigners come over and tell me how to do my job. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. We tell you. There's things I know that you guys don't know. Like, there's things we American blacks know, ADOS knows, that they don't know. They come over here, and I think I put it in the comment section, if reparations was on the table, right, how many of those foreign gatekeepers would be the first one to jump on it?
Oh, you think? Matter of fact, I have no doubt. I have no doubt, Cease, that part of the reason why they're trying to squelch the conversation about reparations is because they want to make sure they hear long enough to be able to get a foot in the door.
Of course.
That's all, right? Joy Reid just wants to make sure that she here long enough to have a passel of critters that she can claim is descendants of slaves here in America so she can get her check. Let's not get it fucked up. Right? Look, I don't have a problem with the fact that many of y'all immigrate here and your motives are mercenary. Like, I'm not pretending that y'all are a motherfucking patriots, that you love America so much. All right? So let's not get it fucked up, family. Y'all not coming here because y'all are like, oh, beautiful for spacious skies. No. Y'all here to get the bag. Okay?
Of course.
That's cool. I don't have a problem with that, especially if you came here legally. All right? What I got a problem with is you motherfuckers stepping into our spaces and snatching food out of our people's mouths. Explain to me, Cease, if you can, dear brother.
I'll try.
How the fuck an icon such as MLK can be played by Daniel Oyelowo? How? How can Coretta Scott King be played by, was it Lupita?
Yeah, Lupita
Nyong'o?
Her name. Yeah.
Right? How the fuck can a story like Solomon Northrup's, by the way, if you haven't read 12 Years a Slave, you fucking up. Because I actually read the brother's story. How can a story like 12 Years a Slave be done by Chiwetel Ejiofor?
I can tell you how. It's not the fact they don't work harder, they work cheaper. That's what that is. All them guys coming over here, they work cheaper. Okay? Then they get them over here. Don't get it twisted. They get treated a little bit better than us, so they don't, like you just said earlier. It's like fat-free, sugar-free devil's food cake. It looks like chocolate.
It tastes like chocolate.
But it doesn't taste like chocolate. But it's not.
Exactly.
It's something else. So it's not the fact that they work hard, they work cheaper. Then they want to parade us around and see, they also benefit from the American government and certain subsidies that we can get a hold of.
Facts.
Okay. I just learned this yesterday from a friend of mine, Hispanic, that I knew for 20-something years. And she works for a company that deals with credit restoration and insurance and everything else. And I said, well, I'll just become a client and see what she's about. She's like, I don't want you to become my client. I want you to become my agent because this is all Hispanic and we need African-American men to do this. And I look at her, I'm like, you know what? That's saying something right there. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was considering, I was like, wow, she wants me to work with her. I said, I don't want you to work for me, I want you to work with me. And I'll show you how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, I talked to the foreigner in the same company. Oh, man, they were giving me the whole spiel. And mind you, this brother looks just like you and I.
That's
but he's
what's up.
Hispanic.
But let me tell you something, though, right? Before anybody tries to throw me shade about my hatred of other blacks elsewhere, I am a dyed-in-wool fanboy of our brother. Shout out to the Commander-in-Chief, Julius Malema, leader of the EFF in South Africa. I follow every word that brother speaks. I'm going to get me an EFF shirt. You know what I'm saying? Just to show my solidarity. You feel me? Right? We are tired, though, as American descendants of slaves, back in the play of every effort for liberation, for justice, for freedom, for black people all around the world, only to have y'all come here and shit on us and backstab us. Elias, the floor is open. You keep saying O'Shea's a Sambo. Put your motherfucking you know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. I'm going to pop the link to the Discord in there. Pop your ass on over here. Let's get it in. I want to hear what you got to say. I'm not saying you're wrong, brother. I want to hear why you think that O'Shea is a motherfucking coon.
O'Shea,
that he's a Sambo. O'Shea Jackson, from the O'Shea Jackson channel. O'Shea Duke Jackson. I want to hear it. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I want you to speak your words, speak your speech.
He's saying that because he's a conservative, or so-called conservative.
You know what? I was going to do this as a broadcast, and I still might. But let me address some shit real quick, if I may, Brother Cease, if you don't mind.
Because it's your show, man.
Because, no, it's not my show. It's our show. It's our broadcast, right? I'm just kind of, you know what I'm saying, like leading the shit. But this is us. So I appreciate you allowing me to, get this in. And then I'm going to fall back and let you chop. But I'm about to let a motherfucking cat out of the bag today. All of you motherfuckers out there talking about y'all against conservatism is some lying motherfuckers. Because when you actually look at what conservatism is in the United States, we actually fall more in line with conservatism than we do with progressivism. Black people fucks with family values. We ain't with motherfuckers acting all, like we ain't with the LGBTQ stuff. That's not to shade my LGBTQ brothers and sisters, right? But we look at them as what they are. They are off the spectrum, right? They not the norm. You know what I'm saying? Right? When you look at everything about the conservative platform, which is personal responsibility, who has been the largest adherents to personal responsibility in this country but black people? We actually fall more in line with the conservatives than we do with the motherfucking Democrats. Hell, the Democrats and the motherfucking liberals pretty soon will have you being able to fuck goats and it be legal. Then you'll be able to have sex with kids and it be all right. Shit, fucking with the motherfucking liberals, you'll be able to fuck a tree knot and get married to it and shit. We ain't really with that type of shit. Go ahead, Cease. Go ahead and get on, man.
Well, yes, you're right. Because mostly we're social conservatives. We do believe in family values. A lot of Gen Xers and baby boomers especially believe in that. And plus conservatism, American conservatives, if you guys do your research, is nothing but neoliberalism in the first place. Trying to recall the books I read about that. BGS spoke on it several times. So, and at one point I was with the Democrats because I did it by tradition until I started doing my research. But things didn't start adding up,
That's
and now
right.
we becoming a day and age where we're becoming more politically mature. And we're starting to question things now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't question Barack Obama until his 6th year in office.
I know it.
You know,
Don't feel bad, brother. You ain't the only one.
I know. I'm gonna be real with you. When was it Trayvon Martin died?
Yep.
No. I remember Trayvon Martin died. He sung a song. I'm like, wait a minute, how is it that everybody always got to sing a song for us? Well, I forgot who the little white kid died, and he was crying and
Yeah.
got all
When those
types of
kids got
gifts.
killed at Sandy Hook, you had tears
Yeah.
pouring out of Barack Obama's face. We get 9 people
N-
murdered in motherfucking Mother Emanuel Church by Dylan Storm Roof. And what we get? Old Negro spirituals and shit. And don't forget the morality speeches that he gave us on a constant basis, coming to us, don't complain, vote. Nigga, we did vote for your punk ass, and you didn't do shit.
But you know what, too? And you know what also? That got me done with Obama is when he allowed reparations for the Jewish survivors. I was
Thank
like, you
you.
know what? I say, you know what? And I've had other people tell me this from other Jewish people, because one of the great things about working in human services, you get to talk to all types of people from all over the place. They're like, we've been overpaid. Most of us are already dead. I said, I agree. But
Let me tell you something. First, I want to address Christopher. Actually, after that bullshit because I used to live in the city where that incident happened with that motherfucker that got, that had sex with a horse and died and shit. They actually passed the law making bestiality illegal after that. But yeah, up until then, the shit was legal, right? Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask the chat a question, all right? And y'all brothers get in where y'all fit in. Explain this one to me. Last time I checked, we had black brothers over there in Europe fighting in England, the UK, in France, D-Day, Battle of Bulge, all this other shit, right? Okay. We had brothers that was there in Berlin during the fall of Berlin. We had brothers at each of the concentration camps. When they liberated the concentration camps, when they cracked open Auschwitz and Majdanek, and so on and so forth, okay? And yet, we're paying reparations for murders and thefts that we didn't even fucking commit, but yet they can't pay reparations to us. Talk black to me, family. Make this shit make sense to me. I'm hearing crickets from my brothers. They like, the shit don't make sense to me either.
It makes perfect sense in this system of white supremacy. It makes perfect sense in this system, but that's how they always.
I'm gonna tell y'all something that you might not know. Every bad thing that you can think of in the last, 5, 6 presidential administrations that's happened to black people has happened under Democrats.
facts.
Why haven't we talked about that shit?
Because we're ashamed and not to talk about anything. We're supposed to be quiet and be docile like everybody else. Like the foreigners that come in here. That's why they parade the foreigners around us. Say, hey, be like more of these people. But it's to our own detriment,
Facts.
A closed mouth can't get fed. Okay,
Jazz,
and that's why we're all starving.
Jazz said they scared of what it could mean for blacks economically. You know that. But see, here's the thing, Jazz. For the first time in a generation, I can reach out my hand to my brother Cease, my brother CRU, right? To all my other DOS brothers and sisters. And they reaching the hand back. They not asking me, oh, wait, who you fucking? Or where you live? Or, nigga, what car you drive? Nuh-uh. Nah. ADOS is uniting us in places we never, ever in modern day been united. And the only tie that's binding us is our lineage, our shared heritage, our shared history. Us aligning with our tribe for the first time ever is the game changer. That is why black immigrants is trying their level best to prevent us from doing it, because this changes the game for everybody. If we come together as a tribe, as a distinct and unique lineage we are, nobody's safe in America anymore. Am I lying, Cease?
You damn sure ain't. I'll co-sign that all the way to the bank.
Stay Woke, shout out to you and welcome to the broadcast. Stay Woke said ADOS is up in here. They can keep the money. I want the land. Give us 5 states. Facts! Look, I can tell you right now, I've done broadcasts where I talked about a reparations program where they didn't have to cut us a single motherfucking check.
It was a tax exemptions for like 20 years.
This is Mark Black's everybody say, well, what's the program? What's the agenda? I'll give you an agenda right now, and y'all can take it, parcel it, piece it out, add to it, take away from it. I don't give a fuck. Here's 3 points right here that don't involve the IRS cutting no checks to niggas, right? So we won't have a bunch of butthurt ass white folks out here, right? But it'll still work to give us our due. I want a moratorium on all taxation of the descendants of slaves for the next 100 years. A complete moratorium. We don't pay sales tax. We don't pay corporate tax. We don't pay motherfucking gas tax. We don't pay shit. I want education from pre-K through postdoc to be absolutely free for the descendants of slaves. We don't pay tuition. We don't pay lab fees. We don't pay book fees. We don't pay room and board. We don't pay shit. And I mean to any school we want to go to, regardless of SAT scores or ACT scores, regardless of anything, regardless of age. If my black ass decides I want to go to motherfucking Harvard, they better make a spot. At 46 years old, they better make a spot. And I get free room and board, free books, free education across the board, all the way to postdoctorate. And the third thing is I want interest-free loans that are forgiven after 5 years if for whatever reason I'm unable to pay it back to acquire a domicile for my family. Not an apartment, a house with land, with dirt.
I would even say let it be a grant like they gave them after World War II. Give us a grant, a housing grant.
I feel you. But then like I said,
then they can do their books right, because I'm not giving that shit.
Like I said, those 3 things I just named don't involve rolling out any checks. Ain't nobody getting cut no dough. And could be a game changer for everything for us tomorrow.
And the problem with that is, if they were to give that out, they'd be scared of how far we can take it. Because look at what we did back before segregation. What we built from that. We took something and made it into a utopia of sorts. You know what? But
here's the thing, right? I'm with Cease on this one. Give us some motherfucking land. Look, they had no problem giving away entire sections. By the way, for those of you black folk who are not from America, right, who don't understand the imperial system, we don't measure our land by hectares. We measure our land by acres, right? A section of land is 160 acres. Right? Approximately 4 sections of land make up what constitutes most counties in America, right? In American states. Just translating for my foreign brothers and sisters, all right? Oh, snap. Jazz is in here. She's getting ready to pop in here. Welcome to the broadcast, sister. Glad to have you. Hey, we should take that money and create institutions because that builds wealth. Facts, esoteric. I mean, look, it's been institutions that have kept us from engaging in the wealth aspects of America. It's going to take institutions that we need to build to take advantage of it. Ricky said Indians have a higher poverty rate and police shooting rate than black folks. They have land but are segregated away from resources. You know what? This is me not giving a fuck. I ain't forgot about the 5 civilized tribes, the Creeks, the Seminoles, the Cherokee, the Choctaws, and all that shit, who wouldn't even free our people, some of us, until well into 1869, when the U.S. government forced them to free their motherfucking slaves. And even today, dropped us from the rolls when the American government opened up the capability for them to capitalize on casinos and get some of that good-ass gambling money, threw black people off the rolls. Black people who speak native Cherokee, who don't know anything else but Cherokee, are no longer considered Cherokee people because the white Cherokees wanted to capitalize on that bread and not have to give niggas shit. Fuck the Indians.
Oh, because they bought into
but
that.
I think.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I think that's why, like you were saying earlier, that's why a lot of the foreigners are getting back here, and then they're gonna confuse everything. Who's the real descendants of slaves? Because after so far, they can't track our records, so it would have to be like a cutoff date or something for they could say that we are the indigenous Black American descendants of slaves. Because somebody could have come over here from Haiti 100 years ago, and they ain't never seen no plantation. They might have been sharecropping or went through Jim Crow and stuff, but that ain't no descendant of a slave.
I'm gonna tell you, CRU, we're gonna have some arbitrary cutoff. In point of fact, let's keep it a buck, right? Jazz, I don't know what happened, sister, but you're welcome to pop back into the voice broadcast whenever you're ready. Okay. But yeah, CRU, I'm going to argue, man, that a Haitian who's been here 100 years is on the team. They've lived basically as the descendant of slaves, right? They've gone through pretty much everything we've gone through. Sure, they haven't gone through chattel slavery here, but Haitians are also slaves where they're from. And if you've been here 100 years, you've got ancestors' bones buried here. You know what I'm saying? Look, we can't be assholes about this thing. But I do want to speak to Cease's point. And your point too, CRU, that this is the time for us to strike. We have to strike while the iron is hot. And there's a reason why. Because there are efforts, and our foreign Black immigrant brothers and sisters are aiding and abetting in this effort to dilute the justice claim of the descendants of slaves here in America. This is why it is imperative upon us to set aside our petty differences and to latch on to the one thing that could tie us together, which is our distinct and unique heritage and lineage, and go for what we know. Fight for what's ours, because we may not in the next 30 to 40, 50 years have the opportunity to do that.
I agree. I agree with you.
So do I.
Ricky said New York is the most segregated state, and Texas is the most racially integrated state. Where do you think Black folks are doing better?
That's a good question.
I know the answer to that one. New York.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're doing a lot of gentrification nowadays. Almost forgot about that.
Let's while I got a chance to have you brothers here, let me introduce another topic on the same discussion. Okay. All right. Let's talk about briefly the situation with Shad Moss, aka Bow Wow. I did a broadcast or a video about it that I uploaded to the channel recently. And I want to just get your guys' ideas on how this brother alleges that he was essentially the victim of intimate partner violence. And yet we have Black social media who is shaming him, disrespecting him, maligning his maleness and his manhood and so on and so forth. If y'all want to touch on that a bit, that's fine. And you're right, CRU. TBA said black folks have lost NY and Cali. In point of fact, I'm going to say that TBA is right about a lot of shit. I watched Gentrified. I actually, shout out to Miss Denny. She got it for me as a gift. And we've watched it multiple times. The only thing that I have that I think is different between me and TBA is that wherever they moving us out from, we should be developing the areas we move into. That still doesn't preclude us working to find ways to fund development where we go. But yeah, I agree 100% with that assessment.
To your point about the abuse, it's a crazy double standard, right? Because everybody's been arguing about last week. Oh, a woman can do what she wants to do, and there's no accountability. But then when a man gets whooped by a woman, oh, he shouldn't have did that. It's like a double standard. But it's only the double standard when it applies to them. It seems like, in my opinion,
it's only a double standard in our community because, hate to say it once again, and my mother told me this years ago, the black man has 3 slave masters: white man, the white woman, and the black woman.
Facts.
Last 2 in that order. As my mother told me this shit at 5 years old. I didn't understand this shit until I got to be 28. Okay. And so basically, yeah, he took the hits. So now, well, you're a punk for getting beat up by a girl. But if he were to hit back, he'd be Chris Brown 2.0.
Facts. His name would be Mud.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Brown still hasn't lived it now. And you know what? I saw a video where they're making fun of Chris Brown some video from College Humor, and I thumbs it down, and I wrote a long soliloquy why I hated the video. They basically were portraying Chris as this big, violent person that beats up everybody. And even Rihanna said it was her fault. But, we gloss over that situation, and it's been over 10 years ago. See, right now, they're going after him because they want to turn Bow Wow into, what Chris became. Well, fuck it, I'm a monster, I'll become a monster, So I see the emasculation in the that's not the word I'm looking for. They try and play this, bro. That's what they're trying to do. Black men are savages, black men are woman beaters, black men are rapists, black men are, we're the scum of the earth.
Another thing that I found interesting is that there were rumors that Bow Wow had experienced a sexual assault right when he was younger. And that's something that's near and dear to my heart, the fact that brothers are experiencing rape and sexual assault in what's probably record numbers and nobody's talking about it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I really truly believe that we brothers got a whole lot of motherfucking work to do, man. We got some reaching out to do to each other and some healing to do. We need to start having some brother-to-brother therapy, man, where we really get all this fuckboy shit out our system, man, where we get all the shade throwing, all these feminine ass behaviors that we done picked up from our sisters, our mothers, our grandmothers and aunts and shit. Get this shit out our system and actually start acting like men. You know what I'm saying? Addressing situations within the community that are affecting us as a collective. And I appreciate you brothers kind of chiming in on that. I might actually do a live broadcast on that within the next few days or so, because I really want to go real hard in on that, because there's a lot more to that dynamic that we're not addressing. You see what I'm saying? That we're not addressing. I want to give a shout out. I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
Oh, no. You go ahead. Give a shout out.
I was just going to give a shout out to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. Brother, I'm a huge fanboy. I'm trying not to gush openly on camera, you know what I'm saying? But the brother commented on my video and I was giggling like a mad schoolgirl, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dr. Johnson. And I also give a shout out to to one of the wisest brothers in academia that I have had the pleasure of getting a chance to review his work, Dr. Tommy Curry. You are an inspiration to so many brothers that you probably are not even aware of, Doctor. Keep up the good work. Brothers, we've been rolling for a minute. I'm going to get ready to call it. But I want to thank you, CRU, as always. I love your support, brother, and appreciate everything you do. Cease, don't be a stranger. I'm going to open up the floor, man, and you always bring some good commentary, some good information for the family. Shout out to Brother Christopher. Shout out to Ricky. Shout out to Keith. Shout out to Miss Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, 91, who is my most recent sub. Mwah. Mad love to you. Shout out to Miss Denny. Shout out to Esoteric Truth. Shout out to the LJ. Ah, there you go. I see you popping there. I see you, LJ. What's up? Shout out to Stay Woke. Shout out to Sister Jazz of Justice. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to let's see here, to Brother Elias. Thank you for your time and your love, brother. Shout out to Tony Garrison. Let's see here. Who am I missing? I don't. Oh, shout out to Goku. I seen you popping there. Shout out to T-Mac with Miss Les. Right? Shout out to you. And to everybody who participated live, I love you. Thank you for your support. This one's going to be able to be caught on the re-up, so make sure if you haven't shared, do so. Please make sure you encourage people to subscribe. I got a goal of 1,000 subs by June, but that can only happen if we do the work. If you also feel up to it and you got the spare coins, a brother would appreciate a tip. The link to support the channel is in the description field of every video. Shoot a few bucks your brother's way. And until the next time I see you, family, I want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.